Hey everybody, welcome to CruiserX, or welcome back to CruiserX, your cruise prescription. In today's video, we wanted to talk about cruise ship safety. What are some of the things that the cruise lines do to keep us safe on our cruise? How do they train for different situations? And how do they prepare for it? Here are some of the things that can happen on a cruise ship that we've all seen in the news. Like I've said, all things that we've seen in the news and all things that are preventable. And I'd ask you to comment below if you've been on a cruise and had any type of emergency, whether it was one of those that we saw in the videos, maybe you were on one of those ships, or something else that you've seen. So please share your comments below and let us know. So with that said, let's go ahead and start with the cruise ship collisions. How do the cruise lines try and prevent that from happening again? The cruise lines have invested heavily in technology to help avoid collisions. As the ships are much larger now, it's a bigger issue. This is the Port Canaveral terminal, and at 5 miles out, the pilot boat will come aboard, and at 4 a.m. the planning starts for the docking procedure for that port. As a pilot arrives, he's taken by escort up to the bridge, where he will then take over the maneuvering of the ship. A small steering wheel is used to maneuver the ship rather than traditionally dialing the heading into the computer. The captain gives the order for RPMs. As the ship approaches the port, it slows from 13 knots down to 6 knots. The pilot is in command at this point, but as it approaches the turning basin, the captain will take over for the final maneuvering into port. The captain can use the Azipod controllers to maneuver each engine individually to steer the ship in the direction that he wants. In today's world, technology has taken over so that there is software available to help avoid collisions. Orca AI software identifies targets for the captain, identifies buoys, and then identifies other ships to let them know which ships may pose a risk to the ship in the path that it is headed. Training has advanced that there are now simulators for ship crews to train on, so that they are better prepared for each potential emergency situation that they may encounter during their careers. So as you can see, a lot goes into the training, the equipment, the technology on cruise ships to help avoid collisions, whether that's going into the port or avoiding other ships. So if that was a concern of yours, rest assured you are very safe. The ships colliding is an oddity. It is not the norm. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next thing, which is a man-overboard situation.
We stopped the ship. We did launch a rescue boat. We let out some life rings. And we did recover one person from the water this evening. So there was one person that went overboard on the Symphony of the Seas, and at the moment has been recovered, is in our medical facility under the care of our medical team. And I just want to let you know that we are now turning and proceeding towards Valencia.
Now, what you just heard recently took place on Symphony of the Seas back in October. Man fell overboard, but good news, he was rescued. Now, cruise ships actively employ advanced technology with cameras surrounding the ship, and they actively monitor what's going on and look at people who are close to the railings to ensure that they capture anybody potentially falling overboard. If someone should fall overboard, then a code goes out on Royal Caribbean. The code is Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. That is the man overboard code that alerts the crew to go to their stations to take care of that situation. A rescue boat is typically launched. If it's at night, spotlights are used to try and locate the passenger. Of course, the crews or the Coast Guard for whatever country they are near is notified, and the search is launched to try and rescue the passenger. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that globally, this actually happens about twice per month. More than I actually thought when I started this video, but I guess not surprising given the number of cruises that take place. Now, cruise ship crews undergo extensive training to handle emergencies, including fire incidents. They learn how to detect, prevent, and respond swiftly and effectively to fire hazards. Safety is always a top priority for the cruise lines. During their training, crews are educated about the different types of fires that can occur and the specific extinguishing methods for each. They practice firefighting techniques such as using fire extinguishers, fire hoses, and even advanced systems installed on the ship. In addition to the hands-on training, cruise ships also have advanced fire detection and suppression systems throughout their infrastructure. These systems can detect fires early, allowing crews to respond rapidly and minimize any potential risks. Regular drills and simulations are conducted to keep the crew well prepared in the case of a fire and emergency. They practice evacuations, communication protocols, and cooperation with other emergency responders, ensuring a coordinated response to any fire situation. Now, each cruise ship is equipped with a helicopter pad. So in the event of an emergency, a rescue helicopter can come in and a passenger can be evacuated from the cruise ship. But each cruise ship also has some advanced medical facilities where they can take care of routine things like a toothache or a cut that needs a band-aid, all the way up to x-rays and even a heart attack. They have the capability to keep somebody alive in an emergency situation until that person can be evacuated. Typically, the medical facilities are located on one of the lower decks of the ship, and if you need them, there is a charge for them, so keep that in mind. That's why we always say make sure that you bring your first aid kit when you travel. If it's something simple where you don't need a doctor, then you can avoid an extremely costly charge at the medical facility. But rest assured, if that was one of the things you were concerned about before taking a cruise, should something happen, they do have the ability to take care of you or anybody else in your party. So we looked at a lot of different scary things, but the bottom line is this: you're at much more danger anytime that you get in your car than you are getting on a cruise ship. And everything that we looked at is something that the cruise lines train for and prepare for each and every day around the world. So we hope you got a lot out of this video. Please be sure to like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, add your comments below. Like I said at the beginning, I'd like to know if you've experienced any kind of emergencies on a ship and what that emergency was and what cruise line it was. We also want to announce that we've launched a new website and we have a new domain, .cruises, so it's www.cruise-rx.cruises. We also partnered with Where's Walter Travel, so when you go to the website, you'll see that we have some group cruises lined up, and we are preparing another group cruise to the Panama Canal for 2025. And also be sure to join our Patreon page so that you can get all of our downloads for free. We have a budget worksheet that you can use and also some cruise packing checklists. Anyway, that's it for this video. We will see you in the next video.